Hello, my friends. This is not a reading for you this morning. This is just doing a little house cleaning, just a little short chat, redneck rant. My last wife, my ex last wife, opened her own YouTube channel. She's not doing videos, not at this time anyway. She used to have one where she would sing in Russian on her YouTube channel, but I don't remember what the name of it was. And besides, it was written in Russian, and I don't know how to read Russian very good. So I don't know what the name of it. I knew what the name was at one time, but I don't remember. But I can't do a search on YouTube for a Russian name. I don't know how to write Russian. But anyway, she opened a new one and came on my account. Back when she and I was still together, I did gardening videos and bee videos and stuff like that back from her place in Texas. And she knew I had a YouTube channel, and this is the same channel. I just pretty much switched it over to serving the Lord after COVID shut me down from my prison ministry. I don't do any gardening up here. I tried it the first 2 years and it didn't do good at all. Nothing anywhere close to the gardening I did back in Texas on the Gulf Coast where it's warm. And y'all, it is cold here. It's 24 degrees, 24 degrees Fahrenheit when I woke up this morning. I don't know what that is in centigrade or Celsius, but it's way below zero. I don't know what the temperature is now. I did turn the furnace on this morning for about 30 minutes and it heated the house up so hot I couldn't stand it, so I turned it back off. My thermostat is broke, y'all remember? And the hardware store, the True Value hardware store here has them. I looked at them, but they're expensive. And I had the money, the spare money, even for the most expensive one they had, but I can get the same one at Home Depot over in a big town south of me for half that price. And so I'm just going to wait until I go over to that big town again and buy one. But the thermostat is a problem. Uh, the readout on it doesn't work, and it's digital, and I can't tell what it's set on. And I can turn it up and down, but I got no idea what it's on. If I get cold, I turn it warmer. If I get hot, I turn it cooler. But I want to know what it's set on. Uh, I just want to have better control of it. And I think I'm going to go back to the old non-digital type, whatever that is, analog or whatever the plain one without the digital readout is. What happened to mine, I've got carpet in the living room where the thermostat is. And I went over there one day to turn it up or down. And when I reached my finger over to start punching the buttons, static electricity jumped from my finger to that thermostat and it fried the digital readout screen. The thermostat still works, you just can't read what it's set at. So, but it's cold. I don't know what the temperature is now. It was 24 degrees just as the sun was starting to come up. It's probably 27 or 28 now. I don't know, but to me it's still very cold. Thus, I'm bundled up again. But y'all, that's not what I came on here for. Talking about my ex-wife, she came on my YouTube channel for several days making comments, and I didn't know it was her at first. And then she started making comments that made me know it was her, things about her and her mom that nobody but her would know. And so I knew it was her. And then last night, just before I went to bed, and I didn't go to bed till like 2 o'clock this morning, I saw she's back at her home. She owns a home over there in her country. She inherited it. She doesn't work for anything. But anyway, her mom lives next door to her home, and her mom is 85, and she she's a moocher. Ever since I met her, she's a moocher. And I think a lot of people from there are like that. She's got Zelensky beat, the president of Ukraine, that mooched billions of dollars out of the U.S. government, $75 billion for the Ukraine war. I agreed with helping them when Russia attacked them, but I did not agree to giving them $75 billion. And now Biden says, the Biden White House, whoever's in charge there now, probably Obama, but whoever's in charge there now, says that we don't have money to give the hurricane victims because they gave it all away. Oh, they printed all that money. How come they can't print more? It just, anyway, Ukraine's had enough help from America, way more than they. The Biden administration gave Ukraine more money than they gave Israel. I don't agree with that at all. At all. Israel is who we should be helping, not Ukraine. But enough of that rant. Now on to the next rant. Last night she made a comment on JJ, a comment that JJ, my YouTube friend, had made. And I don't even remember what JJ's comment was. There's nothing wrong with it, but my ex, we've been ex since 2017. So that's 7 years. She was saying Stan has a wife. Stan doesn't have a wife. Stan has not had a wife since 2017, and she is the one that filed for divorce, not me. I know what the Bible says about divorce, and I've been divorced 3 times before I got saved, and this was the only marriage I had since I got saved, and I wasn't going to divorce, even though I had plenty of reasons to. She cheated on me 3 times that I know of. She left me 3 times for other men that I know of. And she didn't drive. And we lived out in the country. She would hitchhike into town and then get a ride into Houston from town. She would meet people on the internet in Houston and then hitchhike from her country home to town and then hitchhike from town to Houston. And the last time she did it, and when she did it, she just disappeared. I'd be out working and go in the house and she'd be gone. No goodbye, no argument, no nothing, just disappear. She'd find somebody on the internet she liked and she'd be gone. One time, the guy came to her house and picked her up. I found out later from her. And that's another thing. She lies more than she tells the truth. And she was always lying to the 3 or 4 neighbors we had out there about their financial situation. She never had enough. When she left, she had maxed out my Kohl's credit card. She and I was going to the beach one day, and she wanted me to stop at Kohl's department store, whatever you call it, clothing store, to buy a beach towel or something. I don't remember what, maybe a swimsuit. I can't remember. But anyway, I sat in the truck and or SUV, whatever we had at that time, and she went in with my credit card, which had a zero balance or a very low balance. I kept it paid off every month. She charged $2,800 worth of clothes, and the back seat of that truck or SUV or whatever was full of her purchases. And when she left, you know, I can't remember how much luggage you're allowed to carry on, and one or two big pieces of luggage. She had 7 of the biggest suitcases you could find packed. They were so heavy I could barely lift them, and I'm a strong man. And she had to pay, or we had to pay, an extra $700 and something to ship those extra pieces of luggage that she went over what is allowed with your ticket price. But anyway, she got on JJ's under JJ's comment, and was telling her that she and her mom needed money and that they needed help, and just all kind of BS. And I had been watching her since I figured out it was her, since she started talking about her and her mom. I knew it was her after she started that, and some of the things that she said, nobody but her would have known. So I knew it was her. And I was watching her closely. And when around 2 o'clock, just before I went to bed, I saw the comment that she made to JJ's account, JJ's comment. And so I blocked her. She's blocked now. But knowing her, she'll create 20 more YouTube accounts, and she'll probably be back. If you see any of that nonsense about Stan is married, it's a lie. I guarantee that woman lies more than she tells the truth. So if you see anything like that, just let it pass by, and when I see it, I'll remove it. I left a lot of her comments up. You know, they were commenting on whatever video I made or whatever, and she made some good points a time or two, you know, commenting on a Christian video I had made. But when you block somebody, all of that person's comments are automatically deleted. So they're all gone now, even the good ones that I agreed with. But she wasn't blocked because of the good comments. She was blocked for being a moocher and for lying. I don't take lies good. So that's that, y'all. Pray for her. That's all we need to give her is prayer. And pray for her mom too. I feel sorry for her mom. Tatiana has she's cuckoo, literally, physically, mentally cuckoo. It has been confirmed by psychiatrists when she and I was married, and I was taking her. She was arrested several times during our marriage, and then they found out that she had mental problems, and the sheriff's department there has a mental health division of the sheriff's department, and they started helping her. They would take her, they would transport her from our little county jail to a mental hospital in Houston. And she was there several times. and the doctors prescribed her 4 or 5 different, I can't remember what those meds are called for uh, cuckoo people. But anyway, she had several meds that she was prescribed. And she, in her bedroom, she had a big, wide triple dresser. And I had a chest of drawers that all of my stuff was in. And she had her own dresser that was huge. And her place got destroyed in Hurricane Harvey. And she left when she saw that she was a very worldly person. And when we had evacuated for the hurricane, and when we was finally able to get back in, when the floodwaters receded enough we could get back to the house, we saw that everything was gone. The house was ruined. And uh, she took off again. And that was the time she was gone 2.5 years. And I had no idea where she was or if she was alive or in a hospital. And you call a hospital and they won't tell you anything unless the patient gives them permission to. So I had no idea where she was. But she was in Houston living with some Arab guy that she met somehow online. But anyway, uh, I forgot what I was going to tell you. Gosh, my mind. Oh. When the mucking crew got there to clean the house out, I had got a text from Tatiana telling me that her expensive jewelry was hidden in different spots in her bedroom. Well, I didn't know where those spots was. And so I just started looking, and in the walk-in closet, there's the rods that you hang your clothes on. Behind those clothes, she had hooks, like cup hooks, like you hang coffee cups on, or like they used to hang coffee cups on, screwed into the wall all the way across, with jewelry hanging from those hooks. And then, and she told me she had some hidden in her drawers, underneath clothes in her drawers in that big triple dresser. The furniture was swollen from the floodwaters. I couldn't open the drawer, so I had the mucking crew pry the front of each drawer off with a crowbar so I could get in and pull everything out and look for her jewelry. And I found a lot of jewelry, but I also found 21 full bottles of her psychotropic meds. I had been paying $1,100 a month for her meds. She didn't have medical insurance. And so I was paying for her doctor visits, and I was paying $1,100 a month for several months for those meds. And she told me she was taking them, and I stupidly believed her. She wasn't. They were all full bottles stuck behind underwear in one of her drawers. I had some guy at the mucking crew take me a picture of them. I didn't have my phone with me, and then he texted it to me, and I kept it for a long time, but I finally got rid of it, I guess. I hadn't seen it in a long time. She's just a liar. She's a manipulator, a leech. So if she comes back, I apologize in advance. And I don't care if she listens to my videos and makes comments as long as they're related to the videos. If she starts her BS junk, she's going to be gone again, and I don't care how many accounts she starts. But if you see anything like that, just consider the source, and I would not lie to you about it. I got plenty of proof. She got arrested again just before I moved up here, and I think all of her arrest was for assault. She's crazy, crazy, crazy woman. And I don't know how God looks at crazy people. You know, if they're crazy, can they know the difference between right and wrong? Do they know what it takes to be saved? And if they say they're saved, are they really saved? I don't know. I don't know how that works with people with mental problems. And she's got some serious mental problems. She won't admit it. Something else she does. The problem, she tried for years to get on disability in America when she was here, and she couldn't because she never worked, or she worked 3 months or something. When I met her, she was wrapping gifts at Dillard's at Christmas time, and I think that's the only job she ever had while she was in America, and that was just a temporary Christmas job. So she didn't work enough to get disability, and there's nothing wrong with her. She would look on the internet at horrendous diseases, see what the symptoms of those diseases were, and then she would pretend she had those diseases and try to get disability. I'm not lying, y'all. You know, I couldn't come up with anything like that. And of course, you know, the disability people, they got to have proof of everything. And she had no proof other than her word, which isn't worth a plug nickel. So she never got that, but she couldn't have anyway because she was too young. She's way younger, 23 years younger than me. She's way too young to get on disability. Plus, she didn't work enough hours to get disability. But she tried over and over and over. She couldn't understand that she wasn't qualified for disability. And then after she got back home, she tried the same thing there. And I don't know, I know she was in the hospital for exams and tests and so forth related to her disability claim. And I don't know if she ever got on it or not. I send them money every month, and or almost every month. Some month I send them more, and then I don't send them any the next month following that. But anyway, they've got food, they've got everything they need. And in one of her comments at one of my videos recently, she said that they had a cherry tree that fell down, and her mom was outside cutting it up to use for wood in the fireplace this winter, and said when they run out of wood, they'll turn the furnace on. They've got everything they need. You know, they don't have any needs. She's just a moocher. And if any of y'all did give her money, and I'm sure nobody did, but if you did, it would not go for clothes. Or I mean, it might go for clothes, but she doesn't need it for food, and she doesn't need it for clothes either. Like I said, she had 7 very heavy, very packed, large pieces of luggage of just her clothes that she took on a plane with her when she flew back. She's got way more clothes than me, and I got enough clothes to last me a while, probably the rest of my life. But she just likes spending money. And that made me remember something else to tell you, and then I forgot it too. Oh, the 2.5 years she lived in Houston after Hurricane Harvey, her boyfriend bought her, I guess, anything she wanted. And she wanted big, I'm talking about big dolls, expensive dolls. And when she called me, and I don't know what happened to them, but she called me and said that she was homeless and she needed to come home, and she was sorry for what she did and all that. And I felt sorry for her, and I went and got her in my truck. And the back of that truck, y'all, and this is no lie, from wall to wall, front to back, side to side, up even with the top of the cab of the truck, was full of boxes of these dolls. I don't know how many dolls she had. And the back seat was full of her clothes. I mean, from the seat that you sit on all the way up to the roof, full of her clothes, just on hangers. So she started all over. When she moved back home, she wanted me to ship her dolls. And I said, I can't afford to mail all of that. But when I sold a place down there, she wanted half the money, which I gave her, even though legally, technically, she didn't deserve it. Half of that house was purchased with inheritance from my dad, and the other half from money that I had prior to she and I meeting. So legally, she was not eligible for any of that money, but I gave it to her. And then she said I didn't. I had proof I did. It's a bank transfer. You can't do a bank transfer and not have proof. She's just a liar. But anyway, she wanted me, after I had given her half, then she wanted me to ship her dolls to her. And I said, it's going to cost a lot of money. I said, send me some of that money back. And she never did. So I paid for it out of my half, over $6,000 in postage. And I kept the receipts for months, for a long time, and finally threw them away. I knew she had got them all. She had sent me pictures of them. And she doesn't live in her house, her dolls and stuff. And before she went back home, she let her mom rent out her house and would use that rent money to supplement her pension. And I always admired her for that. But now she kicked the renters out when she got back. Well, she told them before she moved back that she was coming, that they needed to get out. But she never spent one night in her own house. She stays with her mom. And I told her, rent your house out. If you're so broke, rent your house out. There's people there that'll pay you good rent for that house. It's a nice house. It's a big house. But she won't rent it. She uses it to store her dolls and clothes in. But that's my rant for right now anyway. I started to say for the day, but there'll probably be more rant later. I love y'all, friends. I'm tired. It is cold here. I need to get off my butt and get busy. So that's that. God bless you.